Are you ready to dive into the world of project management? Hit that subscribe button as we explore how to stay relevant in the agile workforce. So every successful project, no matter the industry, the size, the methodology, follows a project lifecycle. Understanding the project lifecycle is critical and effective for project managers because it gives that structure, that clarity, that control from start to finish. It helps us define what success looks like. It helps us plan early. It helps us plan realistically. It helps us execute purpose. It helps us monitor the progress, and it helps us close those projects in a way that delivers real value. Today, we're going to be studying project life cycles. We have a study guide on both the EverTech and the Project Leaders page. So we're going to be reviewing this. Optimal projects have a life cycle that consists of phases that are connected to deliver business and stakeholder value from the beginning to the end of the project. Project life cycles consist of phases that facilitate the delivery of cadence and development approaches to produce the project deliverable. We're going to go through some definitions that you need to understand within the project life cycle. First, a deliverable is any unique or verifiable product, result, or capability to perform a service produced to complete a phase, process, or a project. The cadence is the rhythm of activities conducted throughout a project. A project phase is a collection of logically related project activities that culminates in the completion of one or more deliverables. And a project life cycle is a series of phases that a project passes through from its start to completion. We're also going to go through development cadence and the life cycle relationships. You want to make sure that you understand how these are interconnected. The project deliverable type determines the development. The project deliverables and the development approach influence the number of cadences for those project deliveries. And the development approach and the desired delivery cadence determines the project life cycle and its phases. So we're going to go through some delivery cadences. You want to understand the three common types of delivery cadences. So we first start off with a single delivery. A single delivery is at the end of the project. Multiple deliveries are when we deliver multiple components at different times throughout the project. And then periodic deliveries, these are like multiple deliveries, but they are fixed with delivery schedules such as monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly. We also have another delivery option. It's that continuous delivery. This is a practice of delivering those features in increments immediately to customers, often through small batches. And you do this with automation technology typically. The emphasis on delivering those benefits immediately and throughout that life cycle. It's similar to a project because there's development-oriented aspects. However, it's also very similar to a program because there can be many development cycles and maintenance activities. It works better when the project team is stable and intact, that continuous delivery. And research and market trends allow teams to respond to those market trends and focus on that value delivery in this continuous delivery approach. We're also going to talk about life cycle phases and also some definitions. And we can see this diagram that we'll go through as we go through feasibility, design, build, test, deploy, and close. So the type and number of project phases in the project life cycle depend on variables such as the cadence, the development approach, and some of the examples that we are going to discuss includes feasibility, which determines the business case. And if the case is valid, then the organization can deliver the intended outcome. And then as we go through the design phase, this is that planning and analysis phase. This leads to the design of the project's deliverables. As we progress, we go to the build phase. This is the construction of those deliverables with that integrated quality assurance activities built in. We then move towards the test phase. This is a final quality review and inspection of those deliverables before going live, or we push it to acceptance from that customer. Then we're going to that deploy stage. This is where we're placing those project deliverables into transitional activities, require the sustainment, the benefits realization, and the completion of organizational change management. This is a critical stage. And then at the closing stage, this is where the project is closed, knowledge and artifacts are archived, and the project team members are released and contracts are closed. Another definition that we want to make sure that we understand are phase gate reviews. These are also known as stage gates. And these are time frames where you check whether the desired outcomes or exit criteria are met before proceeding to that next phase. An incremental development approach has 3 iterations. And this is just an example. You can have the plan, design, and build. And then you review with those key stakeholders to provide that feedback. And the project team updates the project backlog of those features and the functions. And then what they do is they prioritize that for the next iteration. The goal is to optimize the flow and the flow of those deliveries and the resources and the capacity, the materials, and those other inputs to maximize the time, the resources, waste, and then optimize the processes, efficiency, and deliverables through the throughput. We're going to also talk about aligning delivery cadence, development approach, and the life cycle. We're going to talk about it across 6 dimensions. We're going to first start with the startup phase. This is where the project charter is authorized. The business case is approved. You develop that high-level roadmap, establish initial funding. You develop those requirements, define the project team, resource requirements, create milestone schedules, and define planning for that procurement strategy. You also review the exit strategy at the organizational stage gate review. This is that startup phase. And then the planning. This is more of that high-level phase where you're conducting information decomposition for the detailed planning. You are analyzing completed along with gap analysis. So you're analyzing what has been completed from a planning stage and also where are your gaps at. You also look at the deliverables to complete before exiting this planning phase. The development phase, this phase overlaps the test and the deploy phase, since the deliverables, different delivery cadences, and also approaches. So this development phase, this typically spans multiple different phases. The test includes inspections. This is part of that quality control and quality assurance. And with the deploy, these activities in this phase will iterate, and they will iterate as more deliverables become available. And then finally, the closing phase. This phase occurs when we complete the deliverables. This is when we review the project charter, the business case, to see if the deliverables achieve those intended benefits and that value. Once again, thank you for following along and learning about project life cycles. This is an important topic because all projects will have project life cycles. Thank you for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more project management content. See you on the next one.